Do 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 do. Hey, how's it going? It's Nancy Gamon. Do you have a stash of old sweaters you're not sure what to do with? In this video, I'll share one idea and show how to combine scraps of felted sweaters together into a cozy patchwork pillow. To felt a sweater, start with one that's 100% wool or other animal fiber like Angora or cashmere. And the easiest way to felt it is just to throw it into the washing machine on the hottest wash and dry. So wash it in hot water, throw it into the dryer on the highest heat setting, and do that 2 or 3 times until the fibers have shrunk down together and created a nice felt. Once your sweater is felted, then to create a 14-inch pillow, I'm going to use 9 squares cut from sweater, felted sweater, and it's helpful to use things that are a similar weight. These are 5 1/4 inch square, and I'm going to sew them into strips of 3. So 3 strips of 3 squares each. And to do that, I'm going to put right sides together, take it to the sewing machine, and sew a generous 1/4 inch seam on the longest basting stitch. Kind of open that up, take the 3rd square, put that right sides together, a generous 1/4 inch seam on the longest stitch setting, and that creates a strip of 3. Then when you have your 3 strips together, or assembled rather, those can be stitched together again face down, lining up your seams, and then take it to the sewing machine, and again a generous 1/4 inch seam along the long edge. And that will form a 9 patch that would look something like this. On this one, I've taken pieces of other sweaters and appliqued them using a decorative stitch called a blanket stitch. I do have a video called How to Create a Blanket Stitch, if that interests you. So I have my 9 patch, and then I also have just a single square that's about 15 by 15. This had a hole in it, so it also has a decorative element there. And then I'm going to put these 2 pieces right side together. And I usually just pin at the corners, just pin the 4 corners, and when I get to the sewing machine, I'll stretch both pieces a little bit to get them lined up as I sew. Again, it's a generous 1/4 inch seam along the edge, set on the longest basting stitch. This time I'm going to sew 3 edges completely, and on the 4th edge I'll just sew in about a couple inches from each corner, leaving a good opening in the center so that I can turn the pillowcase right side out and insert the pillow form. So here's what it looks like sewn together. I have my backing, I have the 9 patch. It's stitched just a couple inches from each corner, so I have a good opening to turn. And I'm just going to poke in each corner a little bit to help that stick out properly when I get it all the way turned out. And I'm going to turn this right side out, and then using the opening that I have left for myself, I'll get the pillow form muscled in here. So once the pillow form is inside, then I'll just take a hand sewing needle and some coordinating thread and use just a simple whip stitch to close up that opening that's left. Again, just sewing, turning in a 1/4 inch of each edge of fabric and whipping along there to seal up the pillow. So when it's all completed, it looks something like this one. Here I've appliqued sweater pieces using that decorative blanket stitch, and this one is backed just with a single piece of sweater. I've stitch closed the opening, although I have forgotten along which side I stitched. And there we have the finished cozy sweater pillow, ready to use and enjoy. If you'd like to experiment together, head on over to my website at nancygamon.com, where you can check out the current list of workshops.